What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz the Adult. Alright, man, look. First, I'd like to say thank you all for coming by for the Canelo Alvarez, Danny Jacobs live commentary Saturday. So many of you showed up. I had 110,000 playbacks with 87,000 people who showed up for that live commentary. 300 of you subscribed. So, hey, look, that means that you guys came by, stuck around, listened to the commentary, had some fun. The live chat was popping. So thank you guys for showing up. There's going to be many more live streams to come. But let's talk a little bit of the recap with that fight. And let's talk Canelo Alvarez being pound for pound #1. Is that possible? So as a recap, I think it was a very good fight. I think it was semi-close. I had it 115, 113, giving Canelo Alvarez the nod. Now, 2 of the 3 judges saw the same way that I did. So, hey, look, I just can't complain. Now, I think Canelo Alvarez, he showed what I thought he was going to show. His head movement. I think he's a very slick boxer, good reflexes. I think he has good speed, and he demonstrated those things. Now, he didn't show too much footwork with the feet, right? He tried to close off Danny Jacobs a little bit, but Danny Jacobs was just a better athlete. But as far as the head movement, stuff like that, he made Danny Jacobs a little bit cautious, which it didn't work in Danny Jacobs' favor. Danny Jacobs, he needed to be more aggressive. He was very busy with the jab, but not too many punches to make Canelo Alvarez rethink what he wanted to do. Canelo Alvarez did everything he wanted to do that fight. There was nothing Danny Jacobs really did to discourage that, except for when Danny Jacobs went to southpaw. When he went to southpaw, he landed some very flush hooks on Canelo Alvarez, and really, Canelo Alvarez, he shook them off. So, I think Danny Jacobs, the hooks that he landed, he needed to land more of those, stay in the southpaw more, and put more funk on it.
And hit me again, Ike, and put some stank on it.
Because Canelo Alvarez, he was willing to take him. So, I still gave the fight to Canelo Alvarez. There was no robbery there. Thank God, because that is the best thing for boxing when the judges call it right, call it fair. I have Canelo Alvarez for the victory. As far as Canelo Alvarez being pound for pound #1, I think there's an argument there. Right now, we have Terence Crawford, Lomachenko fighting for the #1 spot. I think we have Canelo Alvarez 3 or 4 or something like that. But after this Danny Jacobs victory, you can argue Canelo Alvarez being #1. And here's how. Now, when you think of the pound for pound best fighter in the world, you don't just look at the resume, you also look at their skill and what they possess, right? So, for example, many years, pound for pound #1 fighter was Roy Jones Jr. He didn't really have the resume, but he performed so well. He looked so good in the ring. The things that he done, no one else can really match that. So, just due to his performances alone, Roy Jones, he was #1 pound for pound. But there was many times someone took that spot over him. The lighter weight classes, people like Sugar Shane Mosley, who fought the guys like Oscar De La Hoya, getting those big victories and becoming #1 just because of the performance, but also the level of competition they face. That just knocked Roy Jones off the list. So when you look at this, you see Terence Crawford. What he did at 140 was amazing a couple years ago as far as being undisputed. When he moved up to 147, that's when this level of competition actually went down, right? You had Jeff Horn, you have Benavidez, you have Amir Khan, a shot Amir Khan, but Terence Crawford did what he had to do. He performed very well, ending all of them by knockout. So Terence Crawford is still up there. Now, as far as Lomachenko, it's the same thing. But when you look at Canelo Alvarez, all of his fights leading up to Danny Jacobs are significant fights. He had the Triple G fights, but also he moved up to 168 to get that crown. Now, that's an accomplishment. So he beat Fielding, got that 168 title, and then moved back down and fought Danny Jacobs, one of the better middleweights there is. So he beat Danny Jacobs last Saturday, and I think that makes a strong argument for him being #1 due to resume. Now, he is a great fighter, but I think talent-wise, skill-wise, I still got Lomachenko Lomachenko and Terence Crawford as more skilled fighters than Canelo Alvarez. But when you look at that resume on top of the skill, I think you can make a strong argument for Canelo Alvarez being number one pound for pound. So let me know what you all think. Do you think Canelo Alvarez is arguably number one pound for pound? Or do you think his fight against Danny Jacobs did not move him up that spot and we still got Terence Crawford and Lomachenko as 1 and 2? ShowBizz the adult. I mean, I think he can possibly be number one, man.
Listen to ShowBizz.
I'm out.
Boxing. What's better?